Select Leah Patterson Lust, probate judge.
The probate judge has hearings to determine guardianship and conservatorship, adoptions, psychiatric commitments, and to settle all estates. 480 adoption hearings. I have held almost 2,500 hearings for probate cases.
Visit Glover's Plants and Produce as they celebrate autumn. Come see an autumn colorscape of beauty. Our prices are so low it's scary. When you shop at Glover's, you'll see many of your friends saving money too. Eat healthy with fresh fruits and vegetables for your family, while you pay less and get more. Shop Glover's autumn selection of beautiful mums and other fall flowers. At Glover's Plants and Produce, hurry in now.
There's something for the West Point Warriors about playing the Fairview Aggies to end the regular season. With Fairview playoff bound once again, the Warriors cooled out the Aggies' momentum going into the 4A postseason with a 31-26 victory Friday at Dapper-Smith Stadium. West Point played opportunistic defense that forced 4 Fairview turnovers, 3 coming in the fourth quarter when the game was on the line. The Warriors turned a Fairview fumble early into a 90-yard drive and took a 7-0 lead on a short run by Kristen Chappell. Brian Farley got loose on a touchdown run in the second quarter to extend the West Point lead of 14-0. Fairview was back in business on a 90-yard kickoff return from Justin Bryan. The Warriors then kicked the field goal before the Aggies scored on a Luke Bailey 10-yard run and trailed to the half 17-14. A 65-yard drive to start the third quarter proved to be huge in the momentum for the Warriors. They moved the lead to 24-14 on freshman Kobe Smith's 2-yard run. Fairview closed at 24-20 before timeout in the third when Bailey. West Point's final TD was set up by a fumble recovery at the Fairview 41. Tate Duckett scored from the 2, and the Warriors led 31-20 with 9:41 to play. Aggies answered on a scoring drive that ended with Bailey taking it in from the center. The 2-point conversion failed, and Fairview was down 31-26 with 9 minutes to go in the game. Fairview turned the ball over on an interception and the fumble the final 2 times the offense gained possession. West Point ran out the clock and knocked out playoff-bound Fairview for the second consecutive year. The final score from Dapper-Smith Stadium, the West Point Warriors 31, the Fairview Aggies 26. A successful weekend to end the 2012 regular season for Coleman County teams. It began on Thursday night when the Hansel Bulldogs shut out West Morgan 40-0 to extend their current winning streak to 7 games. The West Point Warriors trimmed the Fairview Aggies in the Coleman County Showdown 31-26. The Coleman Bearcats are second in Class 5A Region 8 after a 28-6 win at Center Point. The Vineman Eagles came from behind and concluded the regular season at 8-2 after a 33-24 win at Randolph and Huntsville. Holly Pond Broncos got their second win of the season for Coach Nate Ayers as they outgunned Appalachian in the fourth quarter, pulling away from the Eagles, winning 33-14. Hats off to the good old Raiders, snapping a 7-game losing streak. The Raiders were 21-12 winners in Walnut Grove against West End. And the Cold Spring Eagles get their third win of the season, an improvement after not winning for 3.5 years. The final for Walker County, the Eagles 40, the Carbon Hill Bulldogs 22.
It was the craziest thing. I was just driving along and this squirrel came out of nowhere.
Wow. The good news is, Alpha has the largest customer service team in Alabama. So you'll be dealing with people here, not all over the country.
Awesome. Really not a scratch on it.
You are lucky.
For a plan built just for you, contact Talisa Scheichel in Holly Pond.
obituaries are brought to you by Moss Service and Hansville Funeral Home. Funeral services for Eloise Self-Light, age 78 of Coleman, will be at 11 a.m. today at Coleman Funeral Home Chapel. Elder Hubert Thompson officiates. Burial in Welcome Baptist Cemetery, Coleman Funeral Home directing. Ms. Light passed away on Friday. Funeral services for Dual Lee Jackson Trammell, age 65 of Coleman, will be at 2 p.m. Wednesday at Moss Service Funeral Home Chapel. Van Ray officiating. Burial in Mount Zion Cemetery. Mr. Trammell passed away on Friday at Coleman Regional Medical Center. Funeral services for Doyce Joe Barnett, age 70 of Coleman, were yesterday at Duck River Baptist Church. The Reverends Lane Howard and Elton Rutherford officiating. Interment in Duck River Cemetery. Holly Pond Funeral Home is directing. Mr. Taylor passed away Thursday. Funeral services for Horace Drake Hudson, Horace Duke Hudson, age 95 of Coleman, will be at 1 p.m. today at Coleman Heritage Funeral Home Chapel. The Reverend H.E. Lefevre will officiate. Interment in Jones Chapel Cemetery. Mr. Hudson passed away on Friday. And those are our obituaries for today, brought to you by Moss Service and Hansville Funeral Home.
Welcome to Today on 2. It is Monday, the 5th day of November, the day before the election.
Yes, that's right.
Big day tomorrow. We'll be talking about that in a little bit. But let's start with the weather forecast for today. Our weather brought to you by Mitch Smith Chevrolet, Cherokee Avenue. Make the switch to Mitch. The weather almanac for the 5th of November. The average high temperature is 69. The average low is 39. The record high 86 back in 2003. The record low 15 degrees in 1991 on this day. Sunset this afternoon at 4:50 and sunrise tomorrow morning at 6:12. Here's the satellite picture. You can see what's going on around the country. It looks like a little rain and maybe some snow in Missouri and Iowa, but in our part of the country, pretty much fair skies. There you can see the satellite picture. It will be cloudy later on. We do have a slight chance of rain this afternoon with a high of 62. Tonight, a 90% chance of rain with a low of 43. And a slight chance of rain again tomorrow morning with a high of 55. On Wednesday, warming up to 58. Same on Thursday. And a beautiful weekend in store. Mostly sunny skies with a high in the upper 60s. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it looks like a good weekend coming up.
That's right.
Did you have a memorable weekend?
I went to see the Wallace State production of Joseph this weekend, and it was very good. So yeah, it was great.
And you saw it numerous times.
I saw it numerous times. So I did.
Do you miss being in those productions?
I do. They're so much fun, and of course I'm really glad for everyone who gets the opportunity to do that now. But I also had a really memorable weekend because I got accepted into the Wallace State nursing program.
Very good.
So I'm really excited about that opportunity, and I'm just ready to, do God's work and be a nurse. I'm really ready.
Nurse Page.
Very excited about that.
So classes will start the next semester of January.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, very good. This is going to be a fun weekend, Christmas in Coleman.
Yes.
This is the 27th year for Christmas in Coleman, and this will be on Saturday and Sunday. As always, Paige, do you want to tell us what's going on?
Yes, there are 2 big shopping days. This will be this Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday, it'll be from 10 to 6, and Sunday from 1 to 6. This is the 27th annual event. There's a parade in downtown Coleman. They have free outdoor ice skating, which is sponsored by Coleman City Park and Rec. And if you want more information, you can visit them at christmasincoleman.com. And obviously, this will be in downtown Coleman. The ice rink will be in the parking lot across from Berkeley Bob's. And there will be lots of fun things for the kids to do, not just shopping, because I know that kids don't like to just sit and shop with mom all day. There will be train rides at Depot Park, a horse-drawn carriage ride, just lots of fun events for kids.
A lot of activities all over town. Ice skating in Coleman.
Yeah.
Whoever thought? And if you're interested in trying it, they have skates available.
Free.
And I don't think
All
you even
free
have
of
to,
charge.
you don't have to rent them. But they've got, what, 70 pairs of skates?
That's right.
Something like that. So if you've never ice skated, you can try this weekend. Have you ever ice skated?
I have, and I really love it.
Is it harder than roller skating?
Yes, it's very much harder than roller skating
Yes, it
because
is.
you're on just a small blade. So,
Okay, let's look at our Facebook friend of the day. Who's our friend for
our
today?
Facebook friend of the day today is Kathy Wagner, and she likes Heatherly Farms. And if you would like to be our Facebook friend of the day like Kathy, you can just go on Facebook, find us, Channel 2 Coleman, and maybe we'll pick you for our Facebook friend of the day.
And who's coming to see us today?
Today, we are very lucky. We have Miss Jamie McHan, who's with Coleman Christian School, and she's going to be talking a little bit about their holiday supper that's coming up. And also, we have Teresa Dyer. She is going to be talking with us about her new show that's coming on Channel 2 today, right after Today on 2, called What's Cooking.
That's what we have lined up for today. George Spear is here with news and commentary right after this.
At Premier Bank, we're a bit old-fashioned. We actually answer the telephone when you call. However, old-fashioned doesn't mean we aren't up to date. With the latest technology, Premier Bank meets the various needs of our customers. Mobile smartphone banking, internet banking, ATMs, convenient offices. At Premier Bank, we have the right products right now with good old-fashioned customer service. At Premier Bank, we put the customer first.
Overwhelmed by home refinancing offers from telephone solicitors and direct mail advertising, and then find you're not qualified for a specific plan? The Mortgage Center, a hometown lender, compares the rates from all home loan lenders and the qualifications of the various government programs to find a plan best suited to you. The Mortgage Center helps Coleman County people purchase and refinance their homes.
This is Pat Newton. Call us today and let us tailor a loan program to your specific needs and requirements.
Meet the KitchenAid 36-inch induction cooktop. It might just change the way you cook. Induction technology heats the pan and not the cooking surface to offer you a new level of precision, speed, and energy efficiency. 9 settings give you different levels of heat to achieve precise temperatures and amazing responsiveness. Water boils in just seconds, making this the fastest to boil induction cooktop available. The KitchenAid 36-inch induction cooktop.
I take my responsibilities very, very seriously. And I humbly ask the voters of Coleman County to please look at my record. Look at the things that I've accomplished during this term in office. And to please consider voting for me as I seek re-election in November of 2012. Thank you so much for your consideration.
Time for news and commentary. You join us this morning if you'd like to. Give us a call, 734-7399. Talking about a bunch of things. It's been collecting over the weekend. News, that is. The mayor and city council here in Coleman getting their swearing-in papers again this morning, going back to serve again. They had no, other than the mayor, no opposition. So if you're doing a good job, why complain, right? And why spend good money whenever there's a chance you might not be able to win? And that's basically what has happened in Coleman, so good for those folks. Believe it or not, but you know, the Coleman County Schools have been trying with Superintendent Billy Coleman, attempting to get on the ballot tomorrow, and they were successful, an amendment, number 1, local amendment, that would take care of Section 16 property. You know, back in the beginning, when Alabama was made a state, every Section 16 in every township and range was dedicated for school use. But through the years, some 100-something, it's always gone to maybe other purposes, hunting clubs and other uses. He's trying to get this passed so that they can take advantage on the property that is in Section 16 around Smith Lake. And the purpose is kind of pretty simple, to help with schools funding. And we all know how tight the budget is. Well, Mr. Coleman's been to a number of places and talked to all kinds of groups, and they have signs up. He's come on our program to explain the intent of the use of that, not to sell it off, but to take advantage of some of the opportunities of leasing it and other purposes. But believe it or not, there's opposition to it. You've got Peggy Hill, who's a resident who lives near Smith Lake, doesn't want to see it improved or used for other purposes. And I would understand that if I was an individual property owner. You'd hate to see more traffic on your road as much of a problem as roads are in Coleman County, keeping them paved and all, as well as the Smith Lake Environmental Preservation Committee. They're concerned about wildlife that's in that area, that it might be moved out. But I can't think of anything more important than our schools when it comes to the future. Forget the snail garters and those kind of things, because it's not that much of an area that it would have that great of an impact. But behind the scenes, there's an individual who lives in the eastern side of Coleman County who owns a hunting club, and they use that property, and that's where a lot of this opposition is coming from. Now, I'm telling you, to me, it just makes sense to put it for the use of the schools. I think it's kind of short-sighted, in my view, to think about the business interest and how your business might be affected by it, when the future is our children and grandchildren. So that's just the way that seems to roll right there. But there's more behind the scenes on that amendment and the fighting than what you think and what you've maybe been led to believe. Well, I guess we have seen the story about the Alabama power crews, Decatur Utilities, going up to New Jersey trying to help. And the main networks have reported that they were told they had to turn around and go home because, well, they didn't have to, but they were being forced to join the union up there before they could help people turn the lights on. What has happened is actually, believe it or not, but it's an Alabama situation, not New Jersey. This New Jersey town apparently had, according to the news report, Associated Press, Fox, and others, were wanting these people to join the union before they could work up there. But actually what has happened is that this particular petition, or this document they were told they needed to sign, was from the Electric Cities of Alabama. So, I mean, this is a union which takes into its ownership the utilities in, let's see, Huntsville, Hartselle, Athens, Florence, Fort Payne, Guntersville, and a few other small municipalities. So it wasn't the folks up there. And I don't know why the networks didn't report that yesterday, whenever it's been out all weekend. But I guess they seem to have maybe they've got an agenda, I don't know. But you can't always believe what you see in the newspaper or in the media. Sometimes it's exaggerated, and that apparently is one of those things. What about that Alabama game Saturday night? Lordy mercy, messed my day up Sunday morning trying to wake up, staying up till 11 o'clock or so, you know. Thank goodness, I believe next Saturday the game's going to be in the afternoon, from what I've been told, 2:30. And so that's going to be, is ESPN, you think? CBS next Saturday. So that's the good news. Of course, it was tough staying up late, but it was worth staying up late to watch that game. But what you might not have known is there was a reporter, an individual who does a commentary, and he was a former NFL player who got kicked out of the press box because he was rooting on air, rooting for LSU. And so they pulled him out of there. Let's see, I was trying to find the exact story that one was. Bobby Herbert, yeah, former NFL quarterback turned Louisiana radio talk show host, escorted from the press box at at LSU for excessive cheering. And I didn't realize that on Twitter, Joe Namath has a blog or a Twitter account. So every time there was a play, Joe Namath would weigh in on it. And it's amazing. It's a whole different world out there now, And if you don't have cable, if you don't have a dish, then you're missing out on a lot of things in life when it comes to, ball games, especially if it's only on ESPN. That's not something you can pick up with an antenna. You have to have a dish or cable. Well, David McCullough, and he's one of my favorite guys, maybe the only guy, with the exception of Ken Burns, if he leaves the politics out of things, on PBS. David McCullough, who is, is an author and who's hosted a number of different PBS specials, the Civil War series that came out in the early 90s, one of my favorite series because I love the way that Ken Burns put that together. But David McCullough's telling reporters, Associated Press, that the current name-calling and all the dirty politics that you see in current day world and between Obama and Mitt Romney is really paling in comparison to what it was like in the 1800s. Man, it was rough then. He says it pales in comparison to the old days. Thomas Jefferson defeated John Adams in 1800. McCullough tells the reporter that Jefferson paid a journalist to write that his opponent was a mentally unbalanced hermaphrodite. Is that how you pronounce that? Man, they got nasty back then. Of course, it's about the same way now. The only difference is they've got social media they can go to and got the internet and got a liberal media on top of all of that. In London, they found cleaning out an old home, and I'm not sure how this particular critter lasted so long, or at least what remained of him. Skeletal remains of a pigeon in the chimney of a southern England home, and this pigeon had a message, like a carrier pigeon. And it was a World War II message, believe it or not, in code. But I can't imagine having a chimney and for a bird to have lasted since 1944, you understand, without it being cooked. I don't see how that happened, or at least smoked. Maybe they didn't use the chimney is what happened, I guess. Well, in Hartselle tomorrow, they're going to be voting on the wet-dry thing. And once again, as I've said before, they've got big signs up there, even billboards, fighting for and fighting against the wet-dry referendum. Money spent on both sides, much more than what I ever saw in Coleman County. And of course, there's not going to be a wet-dry referendum. That will not be on the ballot because they didn't have enough signatures, enough names on the petition to warrant it being put on the ballot. Some of them were city people, and I believe the result was that when they discovered there were people whose names were on this petition for a referendum, that some of them were City of Coleman residents, so they had to be disqualified. It was sort of a gray area there. But if Hartselle goes wet, then those people in northern Coleman County won't be coming down here to buy their liquor. They'll be going to Hartselle, will they not? It seemed like it'd be shorter at any rate. I don't know about you, but it seems like to me that all the moaning and complaining by some of these people up in the Northeast. Now, I understand being in a big city, being without electricity, being without maybe toilet facilities and all, that's unhappy and that's unpleasant. But I have to say the people of Coleman County, every time we've had a disaster, whether it be the winter ice storm of 1996 or April of last year during the tornadoes, they've always stepped up to the plate and not screamed as loud as some of these people are screaming up there. And wouldn't you know, that's, of course, as Dennis has said before, you'd think the only place that had trouble was New York City, whenever the lights go out. But just all kinds of complaining up there, people shouting, and just an unhappy situation. They're speaking of New York and speaking of New Jersey, be prepared, because on places like on the internet, like Craigslist, even on eBay, they're one of some of these cars that have been totaled because they were underwater. People are going to get rid of them. And you're going to find people who don't know that they're water-damaged vehicles. Huntsville newspaper telling people, be careful. Whenever you buy a car, sight unseen, especially because it can look great if all of the water damage is washed off of it, but it may not necessarily work right, and there will be problems for years to come and such. Verizon, because of all of the damage done to the Northeast, Verizon has suffered quite a bit of damage, and there's some sort of warnings, you might say, beginning to creep out of the news media, stories telling people be prepared because they've got to recoup. Can you imagine the prices we pay for cell phone, you know, for the plans, family programs and family plans and all that they're going to maybe up the rates and all like they do? I can't see why. Maybe AT&T wouldn't do the same thing. But how do we get along in this world without cell phones? It's amazing, isn't it, just how much we've come to depend on these things. And for people with landlines, it really is about if you have just a disposable phone or one with limited minutes, it's as expensive or inexpensive as what you would pay for a landline. My uncle, for example, in 1997 I went to see him, and I saw one of the old black phones, the old type phones, you know, that they used to have in houses, the ones they issued back in the early to mid-'60s. And he was paying AT&T $10 a month to use that thing, and it was old technology back in the early 90s, you know. But not good. Well, stay tuned. More of Today on 2 after this.
The most common type of adoption hearing that I have here in Coleman County is a step-parent adoption. It's a very happy day when I get to sign the papers and make official, make legal what occurred in the heart of that step-parent the day he or she became the loving parent. Those important decisions happen each and every day for me as probate judge.
The Coleman County Republican Party urges you to vote Republican from the White House to the courthouse November 6th. The Republican candidates include Mitt Romney for President, Roy Moore for Chief Justice of the Alabama Supreme Court, Twinkle Cavanaugh for President of the Alabama Public Service Commission, Lisa McSwain for Coleman County Circuit Clerk, and Tammy Brown for Coleman County Probate Judge. Remember, vote Republican November 6th. This ad paid for by the Coleman County Republican Party.
There's stuff around your house, but we don't make stuff. We make ovens. Dual fuel, double ovens. And they bake so evenly that now delicious is something you can depend on. We only make things for one room. The best room. Your kitchen. We're devoted to it. And you can feel it in everything we make. Nobody knows the kitchen like KitchenAid.
Overwhelmed by home refinancing offers from telephone solicitors and direct mail advertising, and then find you're not qualified for a specific plan? The Mortgage Center, a hometown lender, compares the rates from all home loan lenders and the qualifications of the various government programs to find a plan best suited to you. The Mortgage Center helps Coleman County people purchase and refinance their homes.
This is Pat Newton. Call us today and let us tailor a loan program to your specific needs and requirements.
And we're here now with Miss Tina Warner and also Miss Rachel House, and they are from Coleman Christian School. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you.
So tell us about your upcoming fundraiser. I know that this is going to be a great event for the community.
It is. We are having our 6th annual, is it the 6th? Fourth, excuse me, I'm sorry. The 4th annual holiday auction for Coleman Christian School, and it's one of our major fundraisers that we do. But it's not just for our school. We involve the whole community in it, and we're asking people to come out and just enjoy a wonderful evening at Stonebridge Farms.
Okay.
And we're having a live auction and a silent auction, as well as a dinner that Stonebridge Farms will be serving.
Tell us what some of the items that will be up for auction.
Well, we actually have a wide range of items. We have 4 Disney passes. We have a 10-person paintball party to Mount Doom. We have Alabama and Auburn bean bags. We have a golf cart. We have some tree stands for hunters. We have lots of gift baskets for Alabama and Auburn fans, scrapbook items. I don't know. We've got a whole array of items, from expensive things to things just little pampered foot care for inexpensive items. So we have a very wide range of items that are going to be there.
Do, and very unique items too that you don't normally hear about at auctions.
A lot of businesses have been very generous to from local to companies all over who have sent items. So we've been very fortunate.
Yes.
For the money that's raised at the auction, what do you use it for?
It goes to the school, to Coleman Christian School, and that's how we support the different programs that go on there. For example, one of the things that we'll be using it for this year is to purchase a small church bus, or a smaller school bus. The larger school bus, we have one of those, but the smaller one that we have was damaged in the tornado, and so we're going to be able to replace that this year. So part of the funds will go for that. Part of the funds go to support our athletic programs, which we do have a wide range of athletic programs, very successful football program we started this year, and so they just go to support the different activities at the school and the different programs we try to have for all our students.
Let's go back a little bit and talk about the history of the school. It started as a grade school, the first few years, through 5th grade or something like that? But now it's how many grades?
It's all the way through 12th grade. Wow. We started in 2007, and it was K4 through 8th grade.
Through 8th grade.
And then we've added a grade every year.
Right.
And then last year we had our first graduating senior class. So that was very exciting, to get to that point. But we initially started, we were at Eastside Baptist, and we initially started K4 through 8th grade.
So the 8th graders now have graduated.
The 8th graders graduated last year, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was very exciting.
Yes.
Where are you holding classes now?
Right now we're at 7th Street Baptist Church.
Okay.
They've graciously let us come in and use their upper floor and part of their lower floor for our schools, since we were at Eastside, obviously, and it's no longer there. So
now, once Eastside is rebuilt, are y'all planning on moving back into the Eastside facility?
That's not the plan right now. Right now the plan is to have our own home. That's what we're looking for. Our board is diligently seeking out property, and our intent is to very much have a building that is Coleman Christian School's building.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Now, you talk about athletic programs. Where do you hold? Is there a room at the Baptist Church? The gymnasium, that kind of thing?
Again, the community has been very gracious as far as letting us use different facilities. The fields behind West Elementary, the park and rec fields, they have allowed us to have our football games there on Friday evenings because they were not in use. So we are able to use those. The aquatic center is where we hold our home volleyball games. And then Wallace State has been very instrumental in our basketball games and our basketball program, and have been gracious to let us practice there as well as hold our home games there.
Okay.
Wow, what do the other teams think when they get to play a basketball game at Wallace?
It's pretty nice.
They are very impressed.
Yes.
It's probably, of all the schools that we play at, it's the nicest facility, and so is the aquatic center.
Right.
It's much nicer than most of the, we play small Christian schools as well.
Right.
And so, they're always very impressed when they come and get to play, at our facility.
Is there a conference of Christian schools that all play each other for a championship or something like that?
We play in the ACEA, and it's a Christian School Association, and it's other schools in that. And for example, this weekend we had a basketball tournament. The boys and the girls played, and as a matter of fact, our girls won. And they played against the other schools in the area and in that conference, and we do quite well. We're very competitive in that.
Our volleyball varsity team finished second in the state. They had a state tournament about 3 weeks ago at Oxford High School, and they finished second in the state for volleyball. So there are championship games, and our football finished 6-2 this year, but we were not able to go to the championship game because it was our first year in the league.
Okay. Well, tell us also about other extracurricular activities the school offers. You have music or drama or anything like that?
We don't have a drama class exactly, but we do have drama in the fact that we put on plays. Our teachers come together and they will help produce that so that the students are able to have that. We have that for elementary coming up, and then in the spring we're planning on having one for the junior high and high school students. So we have that. We do have computers. Now, again, we're not in our permanent home, so we don't have a computer lab, but we have a rolling computer lab so that everyone's able to have computer. We just roll it around with us and we take it where we go. We do have in the high school a fine arts class, art appreciation type class. They just took a group to the Birmingham Museum of Art to see the Norman Rockwell exhibit, and just got back and enjoyed that. So we have a good number of extracurricular activities. For a small school and for a school that's limited, we still try to do a good job of making sure our students have a lot of different areas where they can grow and learn. For example, our elementary is in 4-H, and they just had one of their first meetings a couple of weeks ago.
Now tell me what your are you parents, are you teachers? What's your interest in the school?
I'm the principal, actually. This is my first year as the principal there.
Okay.
And my students, my own children, are there as well. I have a kindergartner and a third grader, so they're there as well. And then Miss Warner was one of the founders of the school and currently serves on the school board.
Okay.
And up here, and I have 4 children there.
I am just amazed at how well the school has grown over the years. When you started, did you think you would, I mean, you know you didn't have the tornado when you started, but do you think that you would be where you are today?
No, I mean, we will sit and talk to some of the other founding members sometimes, and we're like, if we had known all the things that God had taken us through to get to where we are, sometimes we think, well, maybe we would not have done what we did. But, you know, the Lord has truly blessed, and we are amazed at, and it's all from the Lord, but we are amazed at how the Lord has just continued to, through conflicts and everything else, continue to grow the school. And I just think it's a needed thing. I think there's a lot of families out there who want their children to be educated well and want their kids to be educated in the Lord. And so I think the Lord has blessed the school, and I think it's going to continue to grow.
Yeah, the obstacles that you had to overcome, and then they were multiplied by other obstacles that you have had. How many students are in the school now?
We have about 115 currently.
Wow.
Now, is that one classroom per grade, or do you have more than one classroom in some of the grades?
In the kindergarten, I had to open a new kindergarten class this year, so we now have 2 kindergarten classes, and the rest are 1 classroom per grade. But we hope to continue that way. I mean, again, to have so many obstacles, but to be able to add students and open new classes, that's a blessing. I mean, it really is. It's an amazing thing that God's done. So.
Now, will you have facilities adequate for, if you start with 2 kindergartens, that's 2 first grades next year?
It is, and it will work out.
I'm not sure how.
I'm not really sure where I'm going to put them, but there will be a place. I know there will be. If we open the door to have the 2 kindergarten classes, and that's God's plan for us, then there will be a place for 2 first grades as well, and we're going to continue on in that. But so far, everything has worked. It's been a blessing. I wasn't sure how we were going to open 2 kindergarten classes, but yet here we are.
Okay. Tell us again about the auction, where and when, and all the details.
It is tomorrow evening at Stonebridge Farms. We open the doors at 5:30 p.m. The silent auction will start then. There's 3 tables of silent auction items, and you're going to have about an hour to walk around and place bids on that. And then at about 6:30 or 6:45, dinner will be served. Tickets, we could still take some tickets. We have limited amount left, obviously, but we still have a few. You could come by the school, which is at 7th Street Baptist Church, or call the school if you're interested. And it would be wonderful to have anybody from the community. Like I said, this is not just for our school. We have many, many people participating.
And how much are the tickets?
The tickets are $25.
They're $20 for single and $35 for a couple.
Oh, okay.
And we have a lot of fun things. We also have a teacher table, and we have a key box. And so we have about 300 keys, and we sell those for $5 a piece. And the key that opens the trunk wins the teacher's table. And there's about $3,200 worth of value to the teacher's table.
Wow.
We do grab bags. We have there's another little game that we play. It's called Heads or Tails, and you don't even have to pay. It's just they ask questions, and if you guess heads or if you guess tails, and the last person standing wins a prize. So we do a lot of fun things. I think people would enjoy it if they come out.
Okay, very good. Thank you, ladies, for being on our program.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having us.
We'll have more of Today on 2 right after this.
There's something about the moment when you first walk into that new home. It took a lot to get there, but Eva Bank made it easy to get the loan you needed. Eva Bank, as a part of the community, makes lending decisions right here where you live. Our lenders make the process quick and easy with rates you'll love. Visit your neighbors at Eva Bank today and let them help you with your new home loan, manufactured home, refinance, or remodel. Eva Bank, part of the community we call home.
Life lived in black and white is not a life lived. Today, I choose color. To see it. To feel it. To be in it. To be upon it. And to live a life surrounded by it. Today, I put on a fresh coat.
Premier Bank is asking for your vote. We want to be your bank. Our platform is simple, service that no other bank can offer. We're locally owned and operated, and that means we make decisions right here. So vote today for Mom, Apple Pie, and Premier Bank. I'm Jay Mullins, and I approve this message.
I designated myself and one cell phone number. The cell phone number that I have is the one contact number that is available for the Sheriff's Department, the Police Department, Coleman Regional Medical Center, and any individual that is in need of contact with the probate office for psychiatric commitments after hours on holidays and weekends.
The Coleman County Republican Party urges you to vote Republican from the White House to the courthouse November 6th. The Republican candidates include Mitt Romney for President, Roy Moore for Chief Justice of the Alabama Supreme Court, Twinkle Cavanaugh for President of the Alabama Public Service Commission, Lisa McSwain for Coleman County Circuit Clerk, and Tammy Brown for Coleman County Probate Judge. Remember, vote Republican November 6th. This ad paid for by the Coleman County Republican Party.
We continue with Today on... That bothers me every time. I think somebody's looking over my shoulder. We continue with Today on 2. It's time to give away our prizes for today. We have the bag of assorted apples from Steel Orchard, and we have the meal special for 2 at High Tide Sports Grill. And those are the prizes that we have for today. Let's look at some of our merchant ads. We'll ask a question, of course, about one of these ads. And we start today with Dairy Queen. Sweet deals are available at Dairy Queen. Pick any 2 of these 9 items, pay just $3.33. And the Choco Mint Brownie is the blizzard of the month for November.
High Tide Sports Grill on Highway 31 next to Burgess Body Shop. They're open Monday through Thursday and have specials Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. Go and visit them tonight. They're open from 3 to 9.
And Huntsville Guns and Ammo, where prices are low or lower on a wide variety of guns, ammo, and reloading supplies. The weekly special, Bushmaster Firearms, the AR-15 tactical rifle is $1,037.15.
Open the door to history and fine prints. Talking about Renard Gallery and Gifts, they offer jewelry, framing, and prints. Give them a call today at 739-5997 or visit them at renardsgallery.com.
Cosmic Sound is DJ Entertainment. They're your wedding DJ specialists and other special events. Call Big D, Daryl, at 256-736-3888.
Baldwin Counseling Center. Having problems, need to talk, or want privacy? Help is only a phone call away. Howard Rogers. Call him at 737-3087. He solves problems one at a time. Baldwin Counseling Center.
Mullins Body Shop, Highway 31 South at Phelan, 52 years for auto body repair and towing. And, of course, you can still count on them today. That's Mullins Body Shop.
And the difference is not when you open our bottle, it's when you open our doors. We're talking about Borden Family Pharmacy. They're providing immunizations including flu, pneumonia, and meningitis.
Fitness opportunities available at the Wellness and Aquatic Center. They have the fitness center with weights, cardio, and professional training. The indoor walking track, all available at the Wellness and Aquatic Center. Those are the merchant ads we have for today. Our question for today, which advertiser can help you with ACT preparation? You have taken ACT tests, haven't you?
Yes, I've taken plenty of ACT tests.
And they're difficult.
Yes, they are.
But we have an advertiser who can help you with your ACT tests. I have found that the best help is ice cream from Dairy Queen, but that is not one of the answers.
That didn't really help my test-taking abilities.
At least it put you in a good mood.
It did put me in a great mood, but
that's not the right answer. Which advertiser can help you with ACT test preparation? 256-734-7399 is our telephone number. And the prizes we have for today, the assorted bag of apples from Steel Orchard. And by the way, we were out there Saturday. They still have a lot of fresh-picked apples available. We have a caller ready to go. If we can get the phone to work. No, we don't have a caller ready to go. Okay, where was it? Oh, the other prize we have for today is the meal special for two at High Tide Sports Grill. 256-734-7399 is our telephone number. Remember, just one winner per household within a 30-day period of time. No callers for today? Well, I think I see the phone lighting up. We'll try to get somebody on if we can get a caller through the call screeners here today. Who can help you with ACT prep? Line 2, they tell me this time. Hello, who's calling?
Ann.
Hi, Ann. From where are you calling?
Coleman.
Okay, who can help with ACT prep?
It wouldn't be the aquatic center, would it?
No, I'm sorry, it wouldn't be the aquatic center. Think about it, call us back. We have another caller? Yes, no, maybe, sort of, kind of? Okay, Paige?
Hello, caller.
Hello.
Do you have an answer for us?
The tutor doctor.
That's correct. Yes, ma'am.
Who's calling?
Carolyn.
Carolyn, stay on the line, please. Thanks for calling in. Yes, Tutor Doctor can help you with that, along with studies for middle school, high school, just about anything. Mm-hmm. They can even help adults with computers, learning how to operate a computer. Let's look at that ad and the rest of our merchant ads right now. Starting with Mr. Hicks Menswear, where they have businessmen suits and sport coats in regular, big, and tall sizes. And they have casual shirts all the way up to size 5X. That's Mr. Hicks Menswear.
You're in good hands with Sorelli at Doug Doggett Jewelers. Sorelli is an antique-inspired heirloom jewelry, very popular with the ladies right now. And that's why you shop at Doug Doggett Jewelers on Compass Way, Southwest Coleman.
Uniform Place, where they have fabulous fall fashion-inspired new looks for style at work. Uniform Place, located on 2nd Avenue Southeast.
Tires for Less has more than just tires. They offer air conditioning, oil changes, and minor engine repairs. They have over 80 years of experience servicing vehicles. Plus, mention you saw them on Channel 2 and receive $5 off an oil change.
Worried about grades? This is Tutor Doctor. They make house calls. They'll come to your home, work with your student, and in your home, convenient, flexible hours. They're on the internet, inhometutors-alabama.com.
The crew at Earl's Body Shop wants to remind you to move over for all emergency vehicles. Earl's Body Shop offers large and small towing, local or long distance. They're located on Highway 31, and you can visit them at earlsbodyshop.com.
And Yates Chance Christian Bookstore. It's here, a better way to shop for Christian entertainment. They have song downloads, ebooks, audiobooks and Bible, video games, Bible software, and more.
Save as much as 50%. News to Coleman is the Hydromaster tire at People's Tire. It's a premium quality remold tire that looks like new and wears like new.
And Deb's Bookstore, your hometown bookstore just down the road. Used books are half price every day. New books 20% off every day. Deb's Bookstore, across from the parking deck.
Mr. Plumber is Coleman's only professional full-service plumbing, sewer, and drain company. They're locally owned and operated and offer free estimates on new construction and fast 24-hour service. Call Adam Burgess today at Mr. Plumber.
And those are the merchant ads we have for today. We do have a birthday to talk about today.
That's right. On this Monday, Jeff Calley celebrates a birthday, and he will go into our drawing on Friday to possibly win an 8x10 portrait from Baker Photography and an ice cream cake from Dairy Queen.
Weather forecast brought to you by Mitch Smith Chevrolet on Cherokee Avenue. Make the switch to Mitch. Cloudy and later on today. It's beautiful. Well, it's kind of partly cloudy right now, but we have a slight chance of rain this afternoon, a high near 62. 90% chance of rain tonight, low of 43. Maybe some rain again tomorrow morning with a high of 55.
Fire, accident, storm, they all happen in Coleman County. And for 3 generations, Night Free Insurance has been there for you. Continuing today with Elliott and Westcott Free, customizing your life, home, auto, and business insurance with auto owners. Call Westcott, Elliott, Judy, Tina, Angie, or Karen. Night Free Insurance, where people are the difference. The Coleman County Republican Party urges you to vote Republican from the White House to the courthouse, November 6th. The Republican candidates include Mitt Romney for President, Roy Moore for Chief Justice of the Alabama Supreme Court, Twinkle Cavanaugh for President of the Alabama Public Service Commission, Lisa McSwain for Coleman County Circuit Clerk, and Tammy Brown for Coleman County Probate Judge. Remember, vote Republican November 6th. This ad paid for by the Coleman County Republican Party.
If you're looking for the ride of your life, you'll find it at Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales in Coleman. I'm talking about sharp cars and trucks that'll get you noticed and deals too low to believe. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it and find it for less at Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales. Come on, North Alabama. It's time you had a sharp set of wheels and a really good deal. Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales, serving you from 2 big lots, Highway 31 North and 31 South in Coleman, Alabama.
In the nation, we can't make every annoying thing disappear, but we can eliminate deductibles. Nationwide insurance members who add Vanishing Deductible get $100 off for every year of safe driving. Join the nation where deductibles go.
Nationwide is on your side.
We have a new program on Channel 2 which debuts today called What's Cooking? Presented by Traditions Bank and hosted by Teresa Dyer. And Teresa is our guest today. Good morning, Teresa.
Good morning.
Has this something you've always wanted to do, a television program?
I love to cook.
Yes.
And the television program is just a dream come true. I love it. It's the most fun I've had in a long time cooking. I'm just blessed to be able to make a living at cooking. It's my hobby.
You and Kay Cagle, and Kay, of course, is a salesperson on our show, got talking about doing a special last Labor Day, wasn't it?
It was.
And you did a cooking segment with Jacqueline that has now evolved into What's Cooking, which will be on here in just a few more minutes. Tell us a little bit about Catering by Teresa. You said you've always enjoyed cooking, but when did you decide to make this a business?
Well, in '96 we opened a restaurant, very successful. Sold it in '99 so I could spend more time with family and children, and I missed it. It was just, part of me was gone. So in 2000 we started a catering business, and it has just snowballed since then. We're locally owned, family operated, and we do from small family events to corporate events. And it's been a success, and God's just been good to us. He's really blessed us.
When you get started, where do you get recipes that you think people will enjoy what you're fixing?
Most everything we serve is something that I put on my family's table at one time or another. Very rarely do I cook from a recipe. I may go by a recipe, but as my husband says, I just can't leave it alone. I have to add or take away, enhance or whatever. But I think a lot of times cooking is by instinct. My family, we grew up cooking. We just enjoy it. I enjoy food from purchasing it from the grocery store to putting it on the table. It's just a hobby. I love it. And some of my recipes I actually make up. I have one breakfast brunch recipe. I woke up at 2 a.m. one morning and thought about it. And I tried it that day, and it's been a hit ever since. So I like it.
That's all I can say.
So you do experiment from time to time.
I do.
And your family are the judges?
I do. Actually, as our boys was growing up, when I would put something on the table, at one time or another, they'd say, "Oh, Mom, you need to serve this." And it might be something extravagant or something simple, but they'll say, "Oh, Mom, you need to serve this." So we'll play around with it and put it on the menu. But they're my critics, and they've had to eat a lot of items that I couldn't serve, maybe a little overdone, or maybe failed, maybe tasted well, but I couldn't serve it. So they eat all the items that I can't put out to the public. So
are they severe critics?
Sometimes.
They'll say,
sometimes.
Don't serve this one again?
Sometimes. They're very crucial and very honest, but and actually our two sons have grown up in the kitchen, so actually they can cook some things better than I can.
So this is a family business,
it is.
sort of?
It is. Our boys are 19 and 21, and they've grown up from ages 2 to 3 cooking. And when we would do large groups, they would all be there. We would all serve. But I do all of the cooking. My husband does the smoking of the meats when we serve smoked items. But it is family operated and owned.
Wow.
Let's talk about the TV show. The first episode is today. What are you going to be cooking?
Well, we did a Thanksgiving theme today, and what we did a smoked turkey breast. We did a cranberry mandarin orange sauce. We did chicken and dressing from scratch. And I also included the cornbread dressing in the recipe because, like I said, on the catering, I make everything from scratch as much as possible. Sometimes I have to make shortcuts when I'm serving 500 people. Mm-hmm. But on the dressing on the show, I did include the cornbread dressing and the cornbread recipe. We did a sweet potato casserole, and for a little twist, I also had a segment where we did what to do with your leftovers. Mm-hmm. Instead of serving a turkey sandwich, we did turkey tetrazzini, and then we made a sweet potato pie out of the casserole. So I try to be thrifty.
The program will be broadcast here on Channel 2 right after Today on 2 every Monday.
Every Monday.
Starting today, every Monday. Now let's look to the future. What ideas do you have for programs in the future?
Well, of course, in December we're going to do a Christmas theme. And I'm still putting the menu together on that. Just some holiday items, maybe appetizers, party favors, and specials. But each month we're going to try to do a theme. I'm tossing about some ideas. I think we're going to do a dinner on the ground in the springtime because that's when all the churches have decorations and the families get together. So we're going to do a dinner on the ground type of theme. I'm thinking about doing a wild game theme. There's a lot of hunters in Coleman. A lot of the wives and the men they don't know how to cook it, to prepare it. So we're going to show that. I'm thinking. Of course, through the holidays of 4th of July, we're going to do more grilling and cooking. But we're just going to pull it together. We're just going to have fun. I'm excited. And, of course, if anybody has any ideas, I'm going to have a website. You can also email me if you have any ideas, any suggestions.
What's your email address?
Email is customcatering2012@yahoo.com. That you can also use that for any catering events, any questions for the catering. You can get on the email and ask me anything. Give me suggestions for the shows. You know, I'm all about suggestions. We're a family. The catering is a family. The show's a family. So I want everybody to join in.
So how often do you get to cater events? Like, how do you cater an event every day, or
sometimes daily, sometimes 2 events? This weekend we had a busy weekend. I had a lunch Saturday. I had an event Saturday night. I had a lunch Sunday and an event Sunday night. Today we have nothing. Tomorrow we have nothing. But I also take last-minute calls. I've had someone to call me 24 hours in advance for a lunch for 50 the next day. Of course, we pulled it through. You know, I called the family in. we came through.
Wow.
I have people already booking for Christmas. Most of them, I would say half of December is already booked. I've already booked a wedding for next October.
Wow.
So, you know, anytime, I just tell people to give me a call. You never know. If I can work it in, I'll work it in.
The December are like Christmas parties, office parties, that kind of thing?
It is. Most of the events are church related.
Okay.
We do some Sunday school class parties. We do some corporate events, some Christmas parties, and I've got families when they'll have 20 to 50 people that's coming in. They'll just want me to prepare their meal, and I'll do the full meal. I don't do just single dishes simply because I'm so busy, you know. So I do a full meals, and we can deliver those to the homes. Actually, last night, that's what one of those were. It was a family of 30, and I prepared the meal, delivered it, and left. So we have staff that we can serve a meal. We have drop-off meals, just whatever.
Wow.
Paige is interested in cooking and learning more and more all the time. Teresa, what advice do you have for young ladies who
have no idea how to cook?
First of all, do not be afraid. Just jump in there and do it. Get a simple recipe book, something that has 4 or 5 ingredients or less. And don't be afraid to taste it. Most people now have grown up on chicken fingers and French fries. There's nothing wrong with that. I love chicken fingers and French fries. Of course, I have to make my homemade dip for it. But just be adventurous. Don't be afraid to taste what you're doing. Cook with fresh vegetables, seasonings. That is the secret. Some people that's watching their sodium, I can understand not using a lot of salt, but please, be free with your seasonings. Garlic, salt, garlic powder is my friend. You know, almost everything, unless it's a dessert, it's got some form of garlic in it. Garlic is very medicinal. It's very good for you. But don't be afraid to season. And this was my first dream to have the show. Another dream is to possibly do have cooking classes.
Oh,
now
I would come.
It may not be in the near future because I do have to have my facility to do that in. My catering kitchen, it is a commercial kitchen. We are health inspected, we are insured, so we're covered, but it's not functional for classes because I have to prepare meals quick in there and in abundance. But I would love to be able to give cooking classes because there's so many that they have no idea where to start. They waste food, and in my catering and in the show, I actually like to give little tidbits of how to save. So I think we're just going to go forward thanks to Channel 2.
Teresa, when you watch the Food Network, who do you like to watch?
Oh, my goodness. I like Paula Deen. I guess I cook more like Paula Deen than any of the others because I'm a country girl. And I was raised in Coleman, and that's the way my mom cooked. You know, very rarely did I see her pull out a recipe, unless it was for a cake or bread that has to rise. My mother just cooked from instinct, and that's the way I do. So I guess Paula Deen, and I love to watch all of them because each one has their own technique. If I just pick up something from any of the shows, I try to absorb it. But I've had people, my sister-in-law lives in Savannah, she said, when I see Paula Deen, I just think of you. I said, and I don't even have to say y'all and butter.
How many cookbooks do you have?
Oh, I have a bookshelf in my kitchen. That's how many I have. And it goes, I have 9-foot ceilings, and it is probably 8 foot tall by 4 foot wide, and it's loaded. And I'm even stacking on top of the books.
So you kind of collect cookbooks?
I do. I collect cookbooks. And I love the older cookbooks. I like the old ones.
I think that's what we have found at our house, that when you find cookbooks that have old church recipes, that kind of thing are usually the best.
That's it. I've got an old Hershey cookbook that's just faded and worn, and I've had it 20 years. And it was old. It was an antique when I got it. And a dear friend of mine, a lady, she gave me another Hershey cookbook. It's, I think, 100, I forget the anniversary, but she gave it to me the other day, and I plan on using that because it has a lot of the old recipes in it.
What is your family's favorite meal, husband and boys?
My husband loves cube steak and gravy with homemade biscuits. My boys, they like portobello chicken, or chicken tetrazzini. But portobello chicken is probably one of their favorites. I served it on a job the other day, and I had ladies to come up to me, and it was so funny. the way I serve it at home, I had to do it a little different because I had to prepare it, keep it the right temperature for at least an hour and a half, and by doing so, my cheese melted, and it went to the bottom. And when I opened it up, I thought, oh, that's not the way it's supposed to look, but I didn't say a word. And while they were eating it, they were just commenting on that special sauce. Well, the cheese had melted down and made that special sauce. It was a blessing because when I first looked at it, I thought, that just doesn't look right. But it reversed on me. It turned out great, and that's the way I've had to start making it at home now. They love the special sauce.
Teresa, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you so much.
And a quick reminder again, What's Cooking, brought to you by Traditions Bank, hosted by Teresa Dyer, in just a few more minutes, right here on Channel 2. We'll be back right after this.
Premier Bank is asking for your vote. We want to be your bank. Our platform is simple, service that no other bank can offer. We're locally owned and operated, and that means we make decisions right here. So vote today for Mom, Apple Pie, and Premier Bank. I'm Jay Mullins, and I approve this message.
Often these days, seniors feel taken for granted, as if their needs just don't matter, and their experience doesn't count. Tammy Brown would like for you to know,
as a senior in Coleman County, you deserve the best. Each case filed in probate court regarding our seniors is different. And as your probate judge, I will handle each case individually. I want you to know that you won't be taken for granted and that you will be treated with dignity and respect.
November 6th, elect a probate judge who will listen. Tammy Brown.
If you're looking for the ride of your life, you'll find it at Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales in Coleman. I'm talking about sharp cars and trucks that'll get you noticed, and deals too low to believe. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it, and find it for less at Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales. Come on, North Alabama, it's time you had a sharp set of wheels and a really good deal. Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales, serving you from two big lots, Highway 31 North and 31 South in Coleman, Alabama.
The Coleman County Republican Party urges you to vote Republican from the White House to the courthouse November 6th. The Republican candidates include Mitt Romney for President, Roy Moore for Chief Justice of the Alabama Supreme Court, Twinkle Cavanaugh for President of the Alabama Public Service Commission, Lisa McSwain for Coleman County Circuit Clerk, and Tammy Brown for Coleman County Probate Judge. Remember, vote Republican November 6th. This ad paid for by the Coleman County Republican Party.
Our community billboards are brought to you by Pepsi and Coleman Jefferson Gas. The Holiday Bazaar at First United Methodist Church will be Thursday, November 8th from 7 to 4. They'll have crafts, sewing, candy, and baked items for sale. Come and help support the Joyful Hearts and celebrating their 20th anniversary. This will be Friday, November the 9th at 7 at the Coleman Civic Center. Tickets are just $12 in advance and $15 at the door. And the Masters of Motown will be visiting us on Monday, November the 19th. They'll be at the Betty Lee Haynes Theater at Wallace State at 7 p.m. The single tickets will be available at the door for $20. For more information, you can call 339-4447 or visit communityconcertassociation.com. Our community billboards are brought to you by Pepsi and Coleman Jefferson Gas. If your association has a community billboard they'd like to email us, you can do that. Send it to channel2coleman@gmail.com, fax it to 734-7680, or friend us on Facebook, Channel 2 Coleman.
The weather forecast for today, a slight chance of rain later on today, a high of 62. A real good chance of rain tonight, low near 43. Maybe a little bit of rain tomorrow morning with a high of 55. Tomorrow is Election Day.
That's right.
What do we have lined up on Channel 2?
We have Miss Jackie Moore coming. She's going to be talking with us about Christmas in Coleman. And we also have Miss Ann Mullins coming on the show to visit us. So
that's our lineup for tomorrow. Thank you for watching today on 2.
have a great day.